Hi, have 5 minutes? Let's play with some Paper House Productions. Hi, I'm Erica, and today I'm using these bright and easy to coordinate Paper House Productions papers to make a page. Hopefully it gives you a bit of inspiration too. I am documenting my toddler's current bedtime routine, as in she gets into our bed, cuddles with our stuffies, and tells us goodnight. She doesn't get to stay, but it is very cute. If you'd like to make a page similar to mine, just cut 5 segments of coordinating paper 2.5 inches wide. You can keep the length the same at 6 inches, but I chose to vary mine between 6 to 7 inches. So that's to say I have one strip that's 6 inches long, another that's 6 1/4, then 6 1/2, then 6 3/4, and then 7. I'm giving a shout out to Grandma Sharon Brockman today since this is her trimmer that she generously gave me at last year's retreat, since for some reason mine was missing when I arrived. Arranging the strips is difficult to me because just symmetry and alignment don't come easily to me. I have to double check myself through my camera to make sure I'm not crooked and that it's all satisfactorily equidistant. My biggest tip would be that if you find that if you have issues with being crooked, taking photos of your page or even just looking at it through your phone's camera might help you out. So here I've just backed my photos once with white paper. I usually add more layers, but I didn't want to overdo it given my already busy background. Besides, there are still ways to add to the layout outside of this segment cluster bunch. Now I'm backing my photos with foam adhesive tape. An easy way to differentiate your layers is to use foam adhesive tape. My tape in particular comes in little rectangles, which I tear up and use to lift my photos and other elements off my page. Sometimes I'll even back them with layers of that foam to add varying degrees of volume. So remember how I mentioned adding to the layout without touching the middle? I trimmed my white space by 1 inch all around, and then I backed it with this color that perfectly matched the pillowcase in the photos. After this, I'll look for a final background page to mat it all on. I could use a single color, but I really want to challenge myself to find one that pulls from a lot of colors that I already have on the page. Now I ended up choosing this tropical looking paper because in the photo, my toddler is wearing her rash guard since earlier that day she had been outside playing in the water. And since I love fussy blading, I cut into this paper quickly to fabricate part of my title because it's a hot day today and I don't want to melt before your very eyes. Because we're so far north in Seattle, the hottest part of the day doesn't come until 5 or 6 p.m., which at this point in the video it's getting to be about the high of 86, which is great for playing outside in the water, just not for scrapping while facing the setting sun under all these lights. My trick for laying down alphas is to start with the middlemost or middle 2 letters and work my way outward. I tilted the letters in toddler and I really liked how it looked because toddlers toddle, so the tilting looked terrific. Now I'm using Paper House embellishments to help support my somewhat eclectic theme of tropical bedtime. And if you love stars, moons, or anything celestial, you have to check out their Stargazer collection. It's my absolute favorite. In terms of journaling, I really wanted to tell the story, but I really had no room, so I typed up a few lines using my We Are Memory Keepers typewriter and lifted them with foam tape. I soon realized that some of my lines extended past my nearest photo and it really bothered me. Plus, all of my lines didn't even fit. So rather than retyping them all, I staggered them to mimic my staggered background segments. Then I took the remaining line as you saw and placed it beneath my title, Crisis Averted. All that's left is to add a small embellishment cluster at the opposite corner as well as my date stamp, and it is complete. Check out the goodies they have on paperhouseproductions.com and I'll make sure to link my Paperhouse 20% discount code in the info box. I hope I'll see you next time. Bye!